Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to welcome you guys to a new series that I'm starting called Amps and Attitudes. What we're going to do is every couple days, we're going to pick an amp on the PodGo and we're going to go through it and we're going to explain the amp that it's based on, that amp's history, who uses it, and the types of tones that you can get out of it. And then we'll dial up a preset. We'll put that preset up on custom tone for you guys to check out and use, and we'll be good to go. The other thing we're going to do that's very important with this series is we're going to be using the default stock cabinets that come with each amp. So the amp settings that we're using have in the global settings the amp and cab link turned on. So you really get the full experience as to what's going on. Now we're going to dial these in using stock cabs. Feel free to, use additional IRs and change the preset if you want. Give it your own little flavor. So the first one we're going to talk to is the first amp that comes up in the list, the WhoWatt, which is based on the WhoWatt Custom 100 head. This amp was made famous by David Gilmour and Roger Waters of Pink Floyd. The Who, Pete Townsend and John Entwistle, Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin used one for a bit, Noel Gallagher from Oasis, the guys in Aerosmith, ELP, Badfinger, Cheap Trick. So it's definitely that late 60s, early 70s vibe kind of thing. The one thing I did notice with this amp is when you dial it up, it's definitely not the type of tone you would consider to come from any one of these bands. So that's one thing definitely to consider when you're talking about using these amps. Okay, so here's the default sound that comes up when you pull up the WhoWatt. I am using a ESP EC1000 with a Seymour Duncan 59 in the bridge and a Jazz in the neck. To the neck pickup. So as you can hear in this setting, it's kind of like a clean-ish type of amp. It's got some slight dirt breakup, very responsive to the pick attack. So if you pick lightly, and if you pick heavy, it'll kind of break up a little bit. One of the things about the WhoWatt that's pretty important in my opinion is the correlation between your master volume and your channel volume. So if we look at the actual amp itself, let's get out of the settings, let's look at the amp settings here. If we keep the drive sitting around 5 and we crank up the channel and the master volume, I'm just get my level here because that's going to be hella louder than it was. You can see you can definitely get more breakup out of it. Then again, with a responsive pick attack, pick really light and then just, you really get some grit out of it. One of the things that I like to do with this amp is I like to keep the crank up the drive on it, and you can definitely get more of like a 70s British kind of thing. bring that level up just a little bit. Another thing I really like to do with this amp is I like to go somewhere around 7-ish with the bass, crank up those mids, and bring that treble up as well. Bring up the presence as well to give it a little more hi-fi of a sound. Kind of like just your basic crunch rock sound. Really, really cool sound going on. One of the other things I really enjoy doing with this amp is giving it a little bit of a boost. But very specifically, I find pedals like the Minotaur or the Range or the Tube Screamer, things of that nature, tend to make it a little too fizzy. I'm a big fan of the Air Apparent with this amp. So if we pull that up, and we overdrive, higher, that's cool the way it is. Gives it some nice presence and a little bit of bark. Far cry from what this amp started out as when you first pull it up. I highly recommend you experiment a lot with all these amps, cranking up the gain, turning it down, adding boosts, etc. This one we're gonna go in and we're gonna call this WhoWatt Heavy. I'm gonna save that one real quick. So that's basically straight up just an overdrive, the Air Apparent overdrive, and just the amp. No additional EQ, no additional anything. That's literally just the amp and a pedal. So the next thing I'm going to go in is I'm going to create kind of like a lead-ish kind of tone. So I'm going to add a delay to this. We're going to go kind of period and late 70s. So we're going to go with a tape style. I'm trying to think which one I want to go with on this one. Let's go with the transistor tape. The hell with it. Let's see what just the default settings give us. That's a little much on the feedback. So let's bring the feedback down. Let's bring the wow flutter up a little bit, make it a little older sounding. We're going to bring the mix down a little bit. Let's see what we got. And then we're also going to bring down the time. More down on that mix. like that. That's a pretty cool one. So let's go in and I'm going to turn that off real quick. I'm going to call that WhoWatt Heavy on snapshot 1, and we're going to save this. Then we're going to go into snapshot 2, and we're going to add that delay on the second snapshot. So in snapshot 1, we have like a straight up rhythm. Then we come in on snapshot 2 is going to give you like a lead sound. Then we'll go in on snapshot 3 and we're going to dial up more like a cleanish preset. So on 3, we're going to go in and we're going to lose the drive. And not only that, we're going to come in on the amp. And we are going to set up. We're going to bring the drive down, way down. Go in and save that real quick. So what we're going to do here on snapshot 3 is we're going to go in and we're going to turn down the drive. Thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in we're going to bring the master down as well. Bring it down to about 5, help clean it up a little bit. Then what we're going to do to match volume a little bit is we're going to go in here into the cabinet and we're going to turn the level up on the cabinet about 3 dB. Save that again real quick. So there's snapshot 1, snapshot 2, that's snapshot 3. That could actually come up a hair more. So we'll go like 3.5 on that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to toss some reverb on it. Let's see which reverb we're going to go with on this one. I'm thinking maybe like, ooh, let's go with just a hall. That's kind of nice. And then let's go in here and let's add some modulation. And we're going to go with, we'll go with the 70 scores. Kind of period piece, you know? I'm going to bring the mix down on that. I don't like my chorus, it's too chorusy. Yeah, so that sounds cool. Let's go with that. We'll save that for snapshot 3. So now you're going to have snapshot 1's going to be just your straight up rhythm. That we want chorus. We want that and that off on this one. Then you get like a lead. And again, we want these off on this snapshot. Or you can always put the reverb on it if you wanted. That's kind of cool. Actually, I do like that with the reverb better. So we're going to stick with the reverb on that one. It's pretty nice. And then we'll go to the third. We'll give you like a cleanish damn G strings. Close enough for rock and roll. And that'll give you like a cool clean sound. You know, and even in this preset, if you got rid of the drive and backed off your volume a little bit, Up the volume on the guitar. Kick the drive back on. So there you guys go. That is the WhoWatt. So rock and roll. Check out the presets. Don't forget to come and check out our Facebook group. Facebook.com/groups/PodGo users. Contests, all kinds of cool conversations going on about the PodGo. Check out my website, jasonconstantine.com, for free IRs, free presets. And don't forget to visit my shop on the Line 6 Marketplace. You can go over and you can check that out. Just search for Constantine Studios. We got a whole bunch of IRs and presets up there as well. And look for my presets on Custom Tone. Just search for Jason Constantine. Again, I will see you guys in a few days. This has been episode 1 of Amplifiers, or Amps, rather. Whatever the fuck I called it. I don't remember. Amps and Attitudes. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Take it easy.